guys, I'm Kristen. Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to talk about my most anticipated book releases of 2018. The majority of the books on this list are going to be YA fantasy books and some sci-fi books. However, I will say that there's a contemporary and 2 mysteries thrown in there just for good measure. Before we get started, if you are new to my channel or you've been watching videos and just haven't gotten around to subscribing yet, make sure you click on that subscribe button. At the end of the video, if you enjoyed the video, give it a like or leave me a comment to let me know. Okay, so let's get started. I'm just gonna give these to you in chronological order. The first new release that I am highly anticipating in 2018 is Truly Devious by Maureen Johnson. This one comes out on January 16th. I've only read one other book by Maureen Johnson and I really liked it. That was The Name of the Star. Plus, this is one of those mysteries, not a fantasy book at all, no supernatural elements. So I am really excited to expand my horizons, although like 17 books on this list are fantasy and sci-fi, so I guess I'm not really expanding my horizons that much. This book is about a true crime aficionado named Stevie Bell who starts attending a school where a famous crime took place many years ago. The wife and child of the man who opened the school were kidnapped shortly after the school's opening, and Stevie's decided that she is going to solve this crime. At the time that the kidnappings happened, all that was left was a riddle with a note signed Truly Devious. But shortly after Stevie starts school in modern time, mysterious deaths start occurring and Truly Devious is taking the credit. Something that really intrigued me about this book is that it's told through alternating timelines, that of the original kidnappings and then modern day with Stevie, and I'm really looking forward to reading it. The next book I am really looking forward to reading is Queen's Rising by Rebecca Ross. This one releases on February 6th. This is YA fantasy where our main character is Brianna, who studies a passion of knowledge, and she is supposed to get a patron before her 17th solstice in her kingdom of Valenia. Unfortunately, she does not get that patron. However, down the road, she apparently does get offered patronage, but it's by a man who wants to use her to help overthrow the king of another kingdom. Along the way, Brianna learns some secrets about her own heritage, and there is also apparently magic. I read somewhere that this book was actually inspired by Renaissance France. That is very intriguing to me because I love that time period and I love Europe in that time period. This one has come highly recommended, so I can't wait to read it. The next book on my list is Honor Among Thieves by Rachel Kane and Anne Aguirre, and this one releases on February 13th. Now, I do have to tell you that this is the one book from this list that I have actually already read, but I'm still really excited for its release so that other people can read it, so I kept it on this list. This book takes place in a future alternate Earth, and large sentient aliens called Leviathan swim through our solar system, and they carry humans to go on these journeys through the solar system. Yes, you heard that right. They carry the human passengers inside them. I don't know how to describe it without it sounding weird, but it is a very unique and original concept, and I loved this book. Our main character is Zara Cole, and she lives on the streets of New Detroit. She lives a life of petty crime, and she's mysteriously chosen as an honor. And an honor is the name of what they call the humans that are chosen to be passengers on the Leviathan, and they supposedly travel around outer space doing like science and discovery type missions. I really loved Zara. I thought she was a great female main character, but my absolute favorite part of this book is Nadim. If you like the Illuminate files and you fell in love with Aiden, then you will love this book and you will love the character Nadim. He is the alien spaceship that Zara and her partner on the trip travel inside of, and I absolutely adore him. Okay, another February release that I'm super excited about is Ink, Iron, and Glass. This one's written by Gwendolyn Clare and it comes out on February 20th. This is a YA fantasy about a type of magic I haven't really read a lot about called scriptology. Certain people have this ability to write into existence new worlds. Our main character Elsa is the daughter of a woman who is able to do this, and Elsa is from a world that her mother kind of wrote into existence. After her mother gets kidnapped, Elsa has to travel back into the real world to try to hunt her down and find out what happened to her. The real world, for the sake of this book, is an alternate version of 19th century Italy, which I'm super excited about. She is very quickly followed into the real world by an assassin. Also, she learns about some sort of political conspiracy, and assassin plus magic plus political conspiracy plus 19th century Italy. Yeah, I'm really excited about this book. One last February release, and this one is a sequel. That's Daughter of the Siren Queen by Trisha Levenseller, and this one comes out on February 27th. The first book in this series was just a really fun story with pirates and a spunky main character who is a female pirate, which is awesome. I can't wait to see what happens in the second book, especially the not over-the-top romance between the main character Alosa and a fellow rival pirate named Raiden. Also, I'm just looking forward to seeing more piratey stuff that Alosa does. Okay, keeping with the ocean theme here, I have my first March release. This one comes out on March 6th, and it's called To Kill a Kingdom by Alexandra Christo. This is actually the first of two The Little Mermaid-esque retellings that we're getting in 2018, which is super exciting. This one is about a girl named Lyra, who is the daughter of a Siren, and the Siren is the sea queen. As a Siren, Lyra kills and takes the hearts of princes. That's her job. Her mother, the sea queen, curses her and turns her into a human, with the caveat that if she can steal this particular prince's heart while on land and bring it to her, then she will turn her back into a siren. But Prince Elion is a siren hunter. He spends his days out on the ocean hunting sirens. So of course, when he rescues Lyra from the water, he doesn't realize that she's like his greatest enemy. I love romances with secret identities, and I love that this has to do with a different version of The Little Mermaid, so I am really looking forward to this book. The next book that I cannot wait to come out in 2018 is Restore Me by Tahara Mafi. It comes out on March 6th. This is book 4 in the Shatter Me series. I cannot believe that we are finally getting another book in this series. It makes me a little bit nervous. However, I feel like if Mafi is taking the time to go back and write more books in this series, she must have content to write about. So I am really looking forward to seeing what happens to Juliet and Warner and Adam and the whole gang. I hope the way the love triangle played out at the end of the final book stays like it is. I hope it stays intact. I am a big fan of who Juliet ended up with in the third book, so I need it to stay that way. The next book I am looking forward to actually comes out on the same day, March 6th, and that's Pacifica by Kristen Williams. This will actually be my first book by Kristen Williams. I've never read any of her books before. In Pacifica, the main characters are Marin and Ross, and they live in two different areas of a dystopian-like world. Ross is the president's son. He lives in the wealthy area, and Marin is the daughter of a pirate who abandoned her on land several years ago, and she lives in a poor, dilapidated area that has trouble maintaining things like clean water and electricity. Pacifica is the name of the island that the president, Ross's father, claims is out in the middle of the ocean, and it's green and it's clean and they can start sending people there. However, Marin is very suspicious because she has sailed all over the ocean with her father, the pirate, and she has never come across the island that they are describing. That's very mysterious. The next book that I am super excited about is Obsidian by Jay Kristoff and Amy Kaufman. You can see this big smile on my face. I am so looking forward to this book. That one comes out on March 13th. Illuminae and Gemini are two of my all-time favorite YA books. How is this book not on everyone's most anticipated of 2018? If you read Illuminae or Gemini, this has to be like one of the books you're the most excited about. So anyways, Obsidian follows Katie's cousin Asha and an old flame of hers named Reese, and the two of them are back on Carenza together. That's kind of where we started our story, and apparently that's where we're gonna end our story. We will of course also be seeing more of Katie and Ezra, Hannah, Nick, and Aiden in this story. We better see more of Aiden. I need some more Aiden before the end of this trilogy is over. Okay, next in April, on April 10th, we will be getting Ace of Shades by Amanda Foody. I love Amanda Foody's Daughter of the Burning City, which was a standalone YA book from this past year that I adored, and I am really looking forward to Ace of Shades because not only is it a new book by her, but it is a series this time, not just a standalone. The main character of this one is a girl named Inna who leaves her finishing school after her mother goes missing. She follows her trail to New Reynes, which sounds very much like Las Vegas, obviously, and her only lead is a con man named Levi. Together, Inna and Levi search for clues about her mother's whereabouts amidst casinos, cabarets, the mafia. I am really looking forward to Ace of Shades. Okay, next on my list is Leah on the Offbeat by Becky Albertelli, and this one comes out April 24th. Now, Leah is one of the characters from Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda, which I have on audio and just have not gotten around to reading yet. However, I loved Albertelli's other contemporary, The Upside of Unrequited. Absolutely adored that book. So I'm really, really looking forward to Leah on the Offbeat. I don't know if I need to read Simon first. I will hopefully get around to reading it before this releases in April though. Leah is bisexual, but she has only come out to her mom, not to the rest of her friends, and this book is about Leah navigating through her senior year of high school. I really love Albertelli's writing style, and I love how her characters are so diverse and how it's really, really easy to find more than one character in her stories that you can relate to, so I am really looking forward to this book. Okay, we are into the month of May, and the first book in May I'm looking forward to is The Lies They Tell. This one comes out on May 1st and was written by Gillian French. This is a contemporary mystery, maybe even a thriller, I'm not really 100% sure, so this is a little outside the box for me. In this book, Pearl Haskins is our main character. She lives in a small town in Maine where the house her father was the caretaker for burned down. The fire killed all but one member of the family that lived there, and the town Pearl lives in has always whispered that the fire was her father's fault. They've always blamed him for it, and so they've kind of shunned her a little bit because of that too. Pearl has a job waiting tables at the local country club, and there is a group of boys that often hang out there. One of them is Tristan, and he is the lone survivor of the fire. She decides to try to make friends with this group of boys. She's a little bit drawn to Tristan because he is sad and he is quiet and he has like a gentle nature to him, and because she thinks that this is a good way to do some investigating and learn about what might have actually caused the fire and kind of clear her father's name. The summary on the back of the book says that through this, Pearl discovers a dark and twisted web of lies and betrayals, and I just love everything about that description. Next on my list is War Storm by Victoria Aveyard, which releases on May 15th, and this is the last book in the Red Queen series, which is a series that I really, really love. Even though I feel like the characters have had some missteps, I still really love the series, so I'm really looking forward to this last book. I'm kind of at the point where I'm not really shipping Mare with anybody at this point. Like, I'm not really shipping her with Cal. I can't really ship her with Maven, so I'm kind of hoping she goes all like, I am woman, hear me roar, and ends up choosing nobody and just like ruling by herself. I really love all the politics in this series, and I really have no idea how it's gonna end because there have been a lot of surprising things that have happened in these books. So I'm looking forward to seeing what Victoria Aveyard does with the finale. Another May release I'm looking forward to is Onyx and Ivory by Mindy Arnett, which releases on May 15th. The main character in this book is Kate Brighton, who has been nicknamed Traitor Kate because once a long time ago her father attempted to assassinate the king. She is now an outcast and she works in the Imperial Courier Service. Kate has a secret ability though. She is something called a Wilder, which means she's able to get into the minds of animals' brains and somehow like control them a little bit. This is important because there's something in this world called night drakes, which are flightless dragons that come out at night, and Kate's ability can kind of somehow like help protect her from them. One day Kate comes across a caravan of people who have been attacked by drakes during the daytime, which is highly unusual, and there's only one survival. That is the king's second son, whose name is Corwin, who she was once in love with, but who also had a hand in executing her father for his attempted assassination of his father, so I'm sure their relationship is extremely complicated to say the least. And of course, all other types of corruption and palace intrigue ensue. This one sounds amazing, and plus dragons, so you can't go wrong with dragons. Hello. Dragons. Next on my list is Legendary by Stephanie Garber, and this one releases on May 29th. This is the sequel to Caraval, of course. I flew through that book because I was so immersed in the world of Caraval, so I am really looking forward to Legendary. Apparently this one is told from Tella's point of view, which I just learned recently. She goes to the Empire's capital to fulfill a mysterious bargain. I don't know, I thought this was going to continue about Scarlet, and I really, really hope that Scarlet and Julian are in this next one. I can't see how they wouldn't be. I'm sure they'll incorporate them somehow. Another sequel that I am really looking forward to is Sia Unleashed. This one comes out on July 17th, and this one's by Scott Rankin. Sia was one of my favorite books of 2017. 2017 was an awesome year for debut YA sci-fi books. I am so excited that we don't even have to wait a full year from Sia's release to get the second in the series. That is a very good precedent to start. This one is going to continue Emmett's story and let us know how things are going on Eden, as well as with the indigenous population, the Adamites. I also think this one is going to have Emmett come to terms with some of the events that happened in the first book that there wasn't really a lot of time for him to deal with yet. There's a lot of stuff that happened in like the last 1/3 of Sia, and I think that we're gonna probably see Emmett process a lot of that and see who he's become and how he's changed because of everything that happened in that first book, because there were some crazy and intense things that went down. Okay, next I'm looking forward to Sea Witch by Sarah Henning, and this one comes out on July 31st. This is the other book that has to do with kind of a Little Mermaid retelling. This is like an origin story for the Ursula character from The Little Mermaid. I am so here for this after absolutely loving Heartless by Marissa Meyer. That book tore me to pieces. That was the origin story of the Queen of Hearts from Alice in Wonderland, and I am loving, loving, loving the the trend of more villain origin stories. More of those, please. Okay, so our main character in this one is Evie. Evie has been an outcast in her small fishing village ever since her best friend Anna drowned. For whatever reason, the people in her town have connected her to Anna's death and blame her for it. Until one day, Evie meets a girl who looks exactly like her dead friend Anna, and she befriends her. However, she soon learns that her new friend cannot stay living on land on two legs. Evie promises to use the magic she has to do whatever she can to help her new friend be able to stay on land, and there's supposedly a heart-wrenching betrayal, which will ultimately lead to the rise of who we know as the Ursula type character from The Little Mermaid. All right, we're down to the final two. The next book I am really looking forward to in 2018 is Catwoman Soul Stealer by Sarah J. Maas. This one comes out on August 7th. I'm loving all of these books about the DC superheroes that are being written by popular YA authors. I think that's the best idea ever. I love it. I have always been a DC fangirl, except Superman. Except Superman. I just want to be really clear about that. I love all the DC characters except Superman. Anyways, Catwoman has always been one of my favorites. She is always very clever and cunning, and she kind of uses her sexiness to kind of trick her marks. Sometimes it's the good guys, sometimes it's the bad guys, but I kind of like that aspect of her, and I really hope that Maas writes her version of Catwoman along the same lines as the Anne Hathaway version from The Dark Knight Rises. She was obviously sexy, but very smart and very independent, and I really like that version of Catwoman. The last book, we made it to the end, the final book on this list, releases on October 20th, and that is The Lady's Guide to Petticoats and Piracy by Mackenzie Lee. This is in the same world as The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue, which was one of my absolute favorite books of 2017. I loved so much. I might go back and read it again. I listened to the audio. The narrator is fantastic. I might go back and read the book in print this year because I loved it so much. This book is written from the point of view of the main character from The Gentleman's Guide. It's his sister Felicity, and she is hilarious and she is smart, and she's not at all interested in romance. She just wants to be intelligent and she wants to sail on a pirate ship, and I don't know what's gonna happen in this book. We don't have a cover, we don't have much of a description. However, Goodreads does have a description that says one sentence: travel, pirates, and a science girl gang. I don't need to know anything else about the book. That's it. Sold. So that's it. If you stuck with me and made it to the end, that is awesome. Those are the books I am most looking forward to in 2018. A lot of fall and winter releases don't have like covers or titles yet, so I'm hanging on to those. I will talk more about those a little bit later in the year. Let me know in the comment section some of the books that you are really looking forward to in 2018, whether it's books I mentioned in this video or books that you think I should add to my TBR that I did not mention. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you soon with a new video.